Hello everyone and welcome to this presentation. My name is Manon and I am very happy to be here with you today to present you the colors for Spring-Summer 22. We are going to present you the highlights of the season. This is a color range that has been developed with inputs from all around the world, drawing on collective intelligence. It brings together an industry of professionals and experts to provide a framework for a fabulous sharing of ideas. This approach is grounded in a deep commitment to synergy to overcome the preconceived ideas regarding competition or retrenching into what already exists. Let's begin this presentation with a decoding. We have here a structured range divided with an eye to simplicity and immediate readability, and this season we can see it is very generous and colorful. This color range is articulated in 4 distinct types of colors, so we can build harmonies that are peaceful and nurturing, or disruptive, disturbing and joyous. We will start with the influence of the reds, which were so important last winter and which this season we see diffused in orangey and pinkish tones. So here, a continuation of reds, tinged with an orangey hue, blazing orange, or pink-infused colors like our spicy raspberry. Next, we have cold blues and subtle violets, acting as truly pivotal shades, transitional colors that promise grating and sensitive plays on hybrids. Pivotal colors like the mauve tones, we have our polyperiwinkle, our nitrogen mauve or cyber violets. They are starting to find their place this season. This is why we are going to closely follow them. Violets are influenced by the cold blues or warmed up with reddish hues. Colors are navigating imaginary, often somehow strange digital worlds. And we have also more accessible natural universes with greenish tones, also played in a variety of directions, which serve as cornerstones between natural greens and quite artificial ones, which fuse greens with the yellow of the range, our active sulfur. Yellowish greens right up to khakis, inspired by wild grass, and lending a greenish hue to yellows, right up to acidics. Then we have the darks, which are not terribly loquacious, essential darks with cyber violet, a brown caffeine, nicotine blue, and carbon black. Darks worked all in substance and reflections, slightly iridescent and vibrant, luminous blacks, darks evoking substance and materiality. And we will close this decoding with shades evoking paleness, a paleness expressed with quite obvious refinement, a light and poetic simplicity revealing a rich character, with a luminous and restrained paleness, all sweet and calming light, a milk and pearl color to give a sophisticated undulation to the whites and ecru, a nourishing paleness, a bit oily and thick to shape materials like sculpting cement or opaque pigments. It's a color range which is more pigmented, more intense, to attain a powerful vibrancy, allowing us to create slow sweeps, languid graduations, or exceptional sunsets. Now, let's turn to some of our favorite directions this season. We realize that today, color choices go beyond the collection's narrative choices. Today, color reveals the choices about the manufacturing process and are an integral part of each brand's DNA. So this season, with this very colorful range, we felt it was important to focus our attention on these precisely colored harmonies, the kind that truly mark a season and anchor fashion in an area. So our color choices are no longer organized by markets, and these reflect a growing tendency to break down categories, to open up creative possibilities through collaborations, and to meet the needs of a changing market. So the harmonies chosen here are specific recipes, guiding principles to elaborate your own harmonies for the different markets and universes of Spring-Summer 22. Here, you can discover our various options for elaborating colors to be combined with the beauty of materials made of natural, free additive fibers with three key concepts. So first we have a lively luminosity that reveals pales and darks shifting between different densities. Then we have an enhanced nature with a new take on greens and a recolored nature going between natural and artificial pigments. And then we have a new fantasy real home that will explore the digital influence which color our imagination this season. Our first theme is a lively luminosity. Light is key this season. It deeply influences the creation of fabrics and finishings. This season, light is lively and textured. When subtle, it can soften and nuance harmonies or serve to reveal and intensify them, exploring the full range of tonal variations from light to dark shades. As we have already seen, there is a broad spectrum of intensity in the shades. We can play with intense color duos in the same item, with blurry shades with an almost sun-washed or faded look. Here, lights brighten softly and simply. We are moving away from overly bleached tie-dyes, heading to something almost California-like, with the association, for example, of our blazing orange and peachy pleasure. The edges of pieces are partially patinated by a solar effect, so entire zones are brightened. This is particularly good for cotton outfits, pants, trench coats, or jeans, where you can play, for example, with our nicotine blue and poly periwinkle on the same products. These combinations can be cut in accordance with the changing pattern of light. Light also play on its own intensity. With cleverly layered transparencies and colorways, shades are softened according to how opaque the surface is to create a calm and peaceful atmosphere. Harmonies also play with an evanescent look for sporty, genderless silhouettes, for light, translucent, ultra-performance windbreakers and parka, combining the pearl and wild grass colors with a touch of caffeine to lend a shot of color to the silhouette. Layered colors to set off and brighten chic new tracksuits. In another quite feminine, almost sugary universe, these layered effects calms and soothes very bright, even kitschy combinations. We explore accumulated transparency with overskirts, tops and dresses with visible constructions in these very confident vitamin-boosted combinations. Shadowed lights contrast also have a calmer look this season with black and white nuanced with colors. Here we see an intrusion of pastel tones to lend softness to contrasts and ruptures, a calm enhanced by textured effects which filter darks and interrupt flat tints. Blacks and whites are lightened and updated in decoration and prints, proposing subtler, lighter contrasts. Calmed colors with a digital skin pink for an easy daytime fantasy for cotton or lace dresses. Darks are used in a fairly subtle way this spring-summer 22. They don't darken harmonies and are used to bring out the intensity in colorful tones. Here, we see how cobalt black, caffeine brown, and nicotine blue can underscore soft and cheerful combinations by encircling and emphasizing them. It's a kind of sophisticated outlining with contrasting accessories such as pipings, yarns, applique, and ribbons, which emphasize in an item's construction and stand out on the silhouette. Lastly, these darks can boost the intensity of brights. Colors are energized and boosted by the contrast with these dark grounds. Just like on our digital screens, the colors are brighter and even more luminous. This expression of bright colors is found particularly in menswear in bold motif and combinations with a cyber violet associated with a blazing orange, a carbon black, and a blue acetic-cotal. Our next color direction for Spring-Summer 22 is inspired by nature and actually offers a new way to look at it. This season, the range has as many natural colors as artificial ones, and this harmony really departs from ones that are normally associated with flowers, with, for example, reassuring greens. So here we give them a new shift we recolor them, reorganize them. Nature is really acknowledged as being indispensable, but we see a certain freedom on how it is approached. Here, their calm and reassuring qualities are set off by blues and violets that transport them into a more dynamic universe. These are vigorous greens for sporty combinations on close-to-the-body jersey, bra tops and leggings with an invigorating chlorophyll. Sport has long embraced the green trend with its advanced eco-design approach, and it ties this to the idea of reconnecting with nature with the development of increasingly popular outdoor lines. 3 greens to play with here in our range: the ethanol sprout, wild grass, and pulpy green. A really enticing green which, when combined with orange tones like here, also emerges as quite sensual. A carnal plant universe where petal looks roasted, burnt, with soft mixes for a reassuring yet sensual appeal and a flashy vibrancy. Oranges replace the conventional pinks for feminine, luscious, and relaxed ambiances, with comfortable fabrics and fine knits for slippery, body-hugging tops and dresses. We see this same urge for something sensuous emerging in passionately colored bouquets, sinuous, fleshy decorations with a mix of classic and fantastical references, where we mix flowers, switch up the harmonies between foliage and petals, throwing out all the rules and conventions for a quite fierce depiction of nature. A warm and dazzling atmosphere found in these meticulous multicolored florals, worked in all over on printed mini dresses, mini skirts and pants. And lastly, nature is meant to be vibrant and euphoric. It expresses joie de vivre, an explosive freedom with spectacular combinations, our pulpy green associated with a spicy raspberry and our acidic atoll, bold juxtapositions that are played right down to the tiniest details, particularly for functional accessories like dips, buttons, or decorative trims that underline this joyful, friendly, and fun side. Our final harmony choice this season captures a shift in our creative imaginations. The development of new technologies with their virtual universes, 3D filters, and landscapes are recoloring our dreams and fantasy worlds. Little creatures and inventive creations spring from our phones and screens to populate our daily reality. And this cross with virtual reality is moving into a caring direction, more and more in harmony with our tangible, decorative approaches. The colors of this new reality are growing softer. They aren't flashy anymore. They are harmonious and create bridges between screens and materials, and their use is multiplied. As this color, they are now chosen for both their digital and also physical effect. This hybrid world reveals sweet combinations, a delicate sensitivity that really speaks directly to our emotions. While blue and red are the banners of the real world, in the digital one, they are mauve and orangey. They attract each other like a new kind of polarization that mixes identities to create new DNAs. Therefore, purple and orange are the standout duo of the season. They are complementary in a way which reflects the season outlook, combining strength and power, and a lively determination with security, softness, and reassurance. The mauves lend comfort and confidence to dynamic and romantic orange tones, and hues can be modulated as you wish to make them suitable for all markets and uses, with soft shades for a touching tenderness, evoking a sensual connection, more sophisticated in off-tones, or brights for bolder and sporty harmonies, where the cyber violet attracts the blazing orange. In graduated tones, these colors recall sunset landscapes and play on a fiery porosity. And also, within these caring combinations, cold warms with a pastel effect reference digital tonalities. With glossy surfaces, matte shine contrasts. We are looking for an offbeat effect in textures and colors to create luminous surprises, as if bags and shoes had been added by a third digital filter superimposed on our reality. These can be worked in contrast to update more romantic and rustic silhouettes, playing with the digital skin pink and the active sulfur green. Finally, these colors even dip into our dreams, a quiet reverie with tranquil harmonies, almost like a light summery quilt, with striking clarity, echoing the abundant light of digital technology, a simple natural quality with infused, barely tinted neutrals that harmonize with natural fibers. An atmosphere that encourages a hybrid imagination to break down the barriers between our various realities, the digital ones and the real ones. To conclude our analysis of the Spring-Summer 22 color highlights, I want to single out 3 particular combinations to keep in mind for your collections. First, we have energetic two-tones with clashing duos that work well in contrast with a full intensity to use in a microwave for small-scale motif to liven up decorations, but also in jacquards and print pieces in the silhouette to attract attention and strongly emphasize the looks. Then we have intense gradations. These can be interplayed across the entire silhouette with a slight play on the color intensity of fused, subtly washed out colorways. Colors are here to accentuate the different motion and volumes of inner and outer layers. They reveal the soft and peaceful luminosity of the season, playing on meticulously selected tone-on-tones to create intense gradation for the season, here with the mauves and violets. And last, multicolored pastels and neutrals exaggerate an ultra-sweet tenderness, a joyful restraint highlighted here by large-scale designs which sprawl across decoration on the silhouette, delicate mixes of warm and cold shades with the same depth of tone, which create a feeling of overall comfort. We have now reached the end of this Spring-Summer 22 color presentation, which was based on our color range, with all the season's color ingredient for you to compose your own creations. To complete this colors information and know more about the Spring-Summer 22 season, I invite you to watch the seminar with my colleague Lucy. It's the season trend testing that will help you to master your knowledges on the latest trends of the season. It's an inspirational seminar which decrypts all the season's influences with product highlights and key silhouettes. And for the first time, you can buy our digital color range online. It's a very complete tool with the exclusive range in a digital version, a leaflet with evocative descriptions of the season trends and its colors, an illustrated takeaway report of the season's highlights and harmonies, and all the files you need to use in your creative software with the QDX values to give to your industrial partners. So I invite you to go to the Première Vision website to get more information and discover it all. And while you are on our website, you can visit the magazine to discover the decodings of the latest trends covering all the fashion and eco-responsible news to help you make your selections. You will find interviews and spotlights on our exhibitors' know-how. It's a platform to discover the Première Vision fashion team's choices and favorites in terms of fabrics, leather, accessories, patterns, and also yarns. And don't forget to check out the Marketplace platform for creative interaction and networking with the most creative international professionals, with all our exhibitors that have been screened by a Première Vision selection committees to ensure a quality of service. We remain at your disposal if you have any questions. Don't hesitate to send us an email. In the meantime, we stay in touch through our social medias to make sure you don't miss anything about the Spring-Summer 22 season. Thank you very much for your attention. We wish you all excellent collection and we hope to see you all very soon. Thanks again. Goodbye.